politics, ignore the boardroom noise. We are tuning into a different frequency. This is BYE Legends.
By Legends, Episode 4, Akira Kurosawa. Welcome to By Legends. Today, we dissect the legacy of a man who did not merely capture motion on film, he engineered the very geometry of visual storytelling. Akira Kurosawa is the ultimate case study in cinematic architecture. To fully comprehend his impact, we must look past the standard Hollywood entertainment metrics and focus entirely on the rigorous structural revolution he brought to the global screen. Visually and technically, Kurosawa was a true anomaly. He operated with the meticulous precision of a painter and the strategic mind of a military general. He weaponized the physical frame. Through the tactical deployment of multiple cameras simultaneously, he captured raw, unedited kinetic energy without disrupting the natural velocity of his actors. He turned standard choreography into a fluid, high-tension vocabulary. His mastery of environmental dynamics remains a core blueprint for the industry. Where traditional directors viewed rain, wind, and fog as technical obstacles or simple weather conditions, Kurosawa treated them as active psychological components. He altered the physical environment to mirror internal human conflict. Through the calculation of deep focus lenses, he kept both the foreground and the distant background in perfect focus, making the landscape look like a massive, breathing tapestry of human emotion. Narratively, his approach dismantled conventional linear boundaries. His groundbreaking masterpiece established what global cinema now labels the multi-perspective narrative structure. By showcasing a single event through the conflicting memories of different individuals, he proved that objective reality on screen is often a construct. He introduced a profound psychological calculus to film editing. This technical and structural matrix laid the absolute foundation for modern cinematic language. Without Kurosawa, the evolution of contemporary action sequences and narrative editing would lack its primary pillar. His creative DNA is directly traceable through generations of global filmmakers who prioritize spatial geometry and complex character dynamics over cheap visual effects. He established that true cinematic legacy is not about technological gimmicks, but about the masterful manipulation of space, time, and motion. Before we conclude, let us break down the advanced language and technical terminology used in this blueprint. Here is your key vocabulary and expressions explained. Geometry. Definition: the shape and relative arrangement of the parts of something. In cinema, the precise visual composition of actors and lines within the frame. Example: the director utilized the geometry of the architecture to emphasize the main character's deep isolation. Meticulous. Definition: showing great attention to detail, extremely careful, precise, and thorough. Example: the restoration of the ancient manuscript required months of meticulous labor in the museum. To weaponize. Definition: to adapt or exploit something for use as a tool of aggressive impact, creative dominance, or strategic advantage. Example: the defense attorney managed to weaponize the witness's own statements during the cross-examination. Deployment. Definition: the movement or distribution of resources, equipment, or personnel for tactical or effective action. Example: the rapid deployment of software updates resolved the critical security flaw across the network. Kinetic. Definition: relating to, resulting from, or characterized by motion and physical movement. Example: the contemporary dance performance was filled with kinetic energy and intense athleticism. Velocity. Definition: the speed of something in a given direction, swiftness of motion. Example: the projectile reached a high velocity before striking the test target inside the facility. Choreography. Definition: the sequence of steps and movements in dance or, more generally, any carefully planned and coordinated arrangement of actions. Example: the complex stunt choreography required weeks of rehearsal to ensure total safety on set. Dynamics. Definition: the forces or properties which stimulate growth, development, or change within a system or process. Example: understanding the social dynamics of the community is essential for effective urban planning. Component. Definition: a part or element of a larger whole, especially a part of a machine or a complex system. Example: the engineer replaced the damaged component to restore full power to the generator. Deep focus lens. Definition: a specialized camera lens that keeps objects in both the foreground and background in sharp focus simultaneously. Example: the cinematographer chose a deep focus lens to show the character's reaction while a crowd gathered far behind her. Tapestry. Definition: a piece of thick textile fabric with pictures or designs. Conceptually, a complex, rich, and multifaceted combination of elements. Example: the novel weaves a magnificent tapestry of historical events and personal family dramas. Linear. Definition: progressing from one stage to another in a single, straight, and sequential series of steps. Example: the history textbook follows a strict linear timeline from the ancient era to the modern age. Multi-perspective. Definition: involving, incorporating, or utilizing several different viewpoints, angles, or interpretations simultaneously. Example: the investigation relied on a multi-perspective analysis of the financial records to uncover the fraud. Construct. Definition: an idea or theory containing various conceptual elements, typically one considered to be subjective or socially created rather than an objective physical reality. Example: many philosophers argue that our rigid definition of time is purely a human construct. Calculus. Definition: a particular method or system of calculation or highly sophisticated reasoning. Example: the political calculus of the decision involved balancing corporate interests with public opinion. Matrix. Definition: an environment, structural network, or intersection in which something develops, forms, or originates. Example: the New Research Institute provides a unique matrix where science and industry can collaborate. Traceable. Definition: able to be followed, discovered, or linked back to its original source, cause, or historical origin. Example: the current economic crisis is directly traceable to the banking regulations enacted a decade ago. Spatial. Definition: relating to, occupying, or happening within physical space and the distance between objects. Example: the architect possessed an exceptional sense of spatial awareness, maximizing every square inch of the building. Gimmick. Definition: a trick or device intended to attract attention, publicity, or business rather than provide genuine substance. Example: the new smartphone features a rotating camera that many critics dismissed as a mere marketing gimmick. Manipulation. Definition: the action of touching, handling, or controlling something skillfully, the clever management of elements to achieve a specific result. Example: the artist's masterful manipulation of light and shadow created an illusion of deep three-dimensional space. Now, look at how these elements tie together. Kurosawa was a visual architect who treated the cinematic frame as an exact science. He remains the prime example of what happens when raw artistic intuition completely dismantles conventional structural boundaries. The comment section is wide open on YouTube. Let me know how his visual style resonates with you, and which pioneer you want us to dissect next. Keep boosting your English. Bye for now.
Boost your English, it's the key. Listen to